Okay, how are we doing today, everybody? How are we doing? We are so back. Anybody out there in chat? Anybody want to confirm the audio, the music? Is it too loud? The quality? I need somebody in chat to confirm, guys. How are we today this Sunday? Just pouring a beer under the table. I mean water. Sure about it. I actually don't know what Twitch's policy is on drinking apple cider. Volume is good. Happy Sunday. Oh my God, Scouts. Like, you stop that right now. You can't ban yourself for harassment. That's the only issue right there. You guys will not believe the people I have convinced to join this call today. And I actually have a statement prepared. We are already behind schedule-wise. Like, we have a schedule. There's so many people joining. We have a schedule today. So the first caller in, actually, let me read my thing first. I'll introduce real quick what this is. What's up? Okay, so this is the unofficial/official 2026 EDR tier list. Notice I said tier and not tire this time, which is an improvement from last time. I have a quick disclaimer I have to read. I'm going to read this disclaimer and let's not talk about it after that, okay? So, quick disclaimer before we start the tier list. This video and stream is entertainment and satire. Everything here reflects my personal opinions, impressions, and hot takes, not objective facts, benchmarks, or formal testing. I am not claiming factual accuracy. I am not providing professional or purchasing advice, and I am not presenting this as an authoritative evaluation of any product or vendor. Some opinions are exaggerated for comedic effect. Some are based on limited experience, and some are based on vibes alone. If you're evaluating endpoint security products for real-world use, you should do your own independent testing and due diligence. Nothing said here should be taken as a statement of fact about any company, product, or organization. Whew. Okay, guys. Yes, correct. How not to get sued by DownDown. With that said, obviously, the disclaimer applies. You should not take this as actual factual advice for what you should buy and buy not. This is purely vibes and opinions. Guess who got a call from the Trend Micro lawyers last time? Okay, guys. I've read the disclaimer. I'm ready for our first caller. Let me transition over to the list. And can you hear me, Mr. Olaf? Are you there?
I am here.
You are here.
I can hear you too.
Thank you so much for jumping on such a very short notice. Let me try to reduce the music a bit more. Guys, could you confirm how loud Oddvar is confirmed to my voice?
I don't know about Oddvar, but...
Oh, wow. One bear in. Olaf.
Yeah, top of mind, right? I get that. I love him too. But,
Somebody's already disappointed. I actually was denied the computer sola drove, 16 years now. You are too quiet. Me? Okay, I'll boost myself a bit. Could you talk a bit more? I almost said Oddvar again, Olaf. Could you talk a bit more, okay. Olaf?
I can talk more. I'm now kind of scared after that disclaimer.
No,
changing my
don't be scared. Don't be scared, Olaf.
I'll just don't crawl out Trend Micro then.
Yes. Okay, so I think you know the rules. You are the first one out, so you get to pick from all of these EDRs, and you have to, together with me, of course, and the chat. Last time we did this, which is well over a year ago, we had a lot of feedback from chat, which was great, because then we can we don't have to have all the pressure. We can sort of put it onto some other people, which is great. So, yeah, where do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll pick on the easy. I'll forgive you. I'll probably pick the easiest one, which for me would be Fortinet. And without giving my own opinion, I asked my best friend Klaus.
Okay, so this is not your opinion. This is an AI's opinion.
No. So I asked Klaus' opinion, and basically what it said is like the 40 EDR is like a smoke alarm that goes off after the house has already burned down and the fire department has left.
I'm going to be so serious.
And it didn't even stop there. So it went for a second quip where it also mentioned where the E in EDR is probably for eventually. So. Probably Claude would put it in LOL tier.
Well, we're getting sued 10 minutes into the stream. This is great. No tier list 2027, guys. I'm going to be in jail fighting this. No, I fully agree. In my opinion, and based on my limited experience, I think Fortinet is actual LoL tier. I think, in my opinion, that if I were to buy that product, I simply wouldn't use it as an EDR. In my opinion, I think it's not great. Absolutely not great. Have you had any first-hand experience with it, or is it just based on people you know who have had experience with it?
I've only heard stories.
Only heard stories.
But I know other products, and I see the news, and they're quite often in there for not necessarily having good products. Their firewalls are probably pretty decent by now, but security-wise, meh.
I will say Fortinet is one of those brands that I feel that I see in the media every freaking week with a new CVE assigned to them. I know that's probably the firewall product they have and not the EDR solutions they provide, but still, I'm going to definitely going to put that in the meh, in the lull category for sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
I just got a message from a buddy saying, did your employer make you say that?
Regarding that, sounds like the legal team went to town.
I actually used my own brain, and I thought, you know what? Somebody might actually sue me for defamation if I'm too harsh. So yes, but I agree. Fortinet is definitely in the low tier. I'm going to give you one more. I'm going to pick another one. Pick an easy one. I mean, Trend Micro. The only question here in my mind is if Trend Micro should be in LoL or D.
I would put them in D if we would put Fortinet there. It's probably slightly better. Again, no hands-on experience with that one, to be honest. Only with the AV product back in the day, which is okay, I guess.
I actually do have quite a bit of experience against the Trend Micro. I can't remember if it's an XDR and EDR solution they provide, but mixed experiences. I had one experience where the individuals behind, or the IT department, the security department at the company actually managed to configure this in a way that it was pretty decent, which surprised me, because even the most trash EDR solutions are almost hard to configure in a way that makes them effective. But I guess this just goes to say that you could buy any EDR solution, but if you don't actually apply any settings or tuning based on your environment, they will always under-deliver. Doesn't really matter. Like some of these clear S-tier EDRs down here, like, I guess spoiler alert, I think Cortex XDR is a fairly good XDR/EDR solution now. And even with that in default mode, it's good, but if you actually spend the time to configure it to your liking, it's better.
True. Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, the team also has to look at what comes out of it. I've been in several incident response gigs where the EDR was like a Christmas tree, but nobody looked at it, right? So yeah, you can still get pwned. So yeah, it's not ideal.
Okay, well, I fully agree on that. And so I think we have so many guests we have to get through, guys. I swear I'm not rushing this, but we have 4 other individuals who we have to get through and pick from. And I want to spend some time to talk to them as well. So Olaf, I deeply appreciate you jumping on. I'm going to just queue up here. Are you ready to jump on? We have another guest coming in really soon. Just got to confirm that he is ready to jump on. Do you guys agree? Actually, let me get a vote in chat here. Everybody who thinks these 2 placements of Trend Micro and Fortinet, give us a yay in chat. And if you disagree with this placement, give us a nay in chat. Let's see how many people are actually following along here. If we get any good feedback on it. There's somebody writing some really meaningful stuff on the YouTube side, but I have to get my YouTube chat up and going so I can see it all. Give me a second here. There we go. Our second guest is ready to join. So I'll just check chat here. Somebody in YouTube chat is saying Trend Micro, even in D tier, is getting too much credit. And yes, I see a lot of people in. I see Vic Return of the Rookie Pookie is asking for the criteria in chat. I read the disclaimer before the stream went live, and essentially this is just based on pure vibes. There is nothing scientific about this. This is, for all intents and purposes, pure satire, just based on feels and experiences by the people I have on the call here. So Olaf, thank you so much for jumping on. I deeply appreciate it. Have a
fun, buddy.
great rest. I hope you stay in chat and give us some feedback, whether it's you or Grok. Claim. Okay, I'll jump back over to intermission. Thank you so much for joining, Olaf.
Thanks, Ben.
See you later. Hey. Okay, so Olaf is out. I'll try to get my next individual on here. Let's see if I can do that. Then I'll mute you for a second there, Mr. Surprise Guest. I just have to configure the cam so it looks okay. There we go. Okay. Oh my God, peak content. ServerSec is on it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. So second guest out for today. We have a tight pack schedule, so this is going to be quick. But second one is actually our main sponsor for the channel, Mr. Emer from BallistaKit. Hello, how are you today, sir? Oh, we're having audio issues a bit at the gates. I think you have the wrong input audio there, Emer. Can't quite hear you. Okay, I did get some confirmation that Vic confirms that Trend Micro's core language is pretty poor, and that just from that he would put it down. Vic, you better stay here for the whole stream. You better stay.
Better now?
I can hear you now, Emer. How are you, man?
Okay, I'm good, thank you. Sorry for that.
No worries at all. I appreciate you being able to jump on in such a short notice. I know I think I asked all the guests on Thursday, and then I gave them zero information until like 3 hours before the stream today, which they all deeply appreciated. So I appreciate you being able to jump on, Emer.
No worries, no problem.
Oh.
What's funny about the last time?
You enjoyed the last time, yes. I think the tier list, both the C2 and EDR tier list last time was quite fun. I think a lot of people had interesting stuff to say. So Emer, if you guys, I'll give you a short introduction, and then maybe you can try to explain, or I could as well. I think of all the guests, maybe besides Fabian that we will have on today, you actually have experience with a lot of this because you are the founder behind BallistaKit, which is the main sponsor for my YouTube channel, and you produce a set of software that essentially evades EDR solutions. So you make a living from evading EDR solutions, right?
Yeah, yes. Right. Yeah. Evading EDR is like our bread and butter, I would say.
Right. Perfect. I think that's why it makes total sense to have you on. And then, of course, somebody in chat is going to be like, what do you mean by evading? I don't mean you're undetectable. I don't mean you're not in the logs. Evading EDR, at least, I don't know about you, Emer, but for me, evading EDR is just a matter of at least getting past the active technical controls that are applied to the machine in order to get access. So for me, it would be being able to run my implant against CrowdStrike on a machine without CrowdStrike either taking action or throwing major, big, fat, high critical alerts that there is something running on it. In the end of sorry.
No, I agree with you. I would say initial access, evasion at initial access phase, and runtime also. But obviously, if you start messing up with LSAS and stuff like that, you're going to get caught.
Yeah, no matter how nice the wrapping, if you do dumb stuff, I think opening a handle to LSAS is one of those very dumb stuffs. You will get nuked, and in the end of the day, unless you instantly abuse some sort of LPE, install a driver, or otherwise gain privileges so you can nuke or I guess stop or effectively stop the EDR solution, there are always going to be logs and telemetry that could be caught and binded back to you. That's just how most advanced EDR solutions work today. They work on the kernel level and they will have telemetry on you. I guess you should say, especially for your company's sake, that everything we talk about now is still under that same disclaimer that this is all opinion based and that this is not technical and facts. This is purely vibes.
Yes. and also I just want to add that when we talk about which EDR is the best, we were talking about the implant, the host protection, and if you're a CISO and you're choosing an EDR, you're not only looking at host protection, you're looking at deployment cost, you're looking at
Yes.
how can you customize, how can you create rules. So obviously here we're just talking about default rules with and host protection level.
100%. We are talking about everything that we care about from an OffSec perspective. So we don't care about license cost. We don't care necessarily about how hard it is to query and integrate with. So again, very sensible, Emerick. Almost too sensible actually to come on the stream and claim. Oh, I'm kidding. To claim these things, but yes. So if you were to pick again, I think the first few individuals.
So I remember last time I had some hot takes that were surprised a few of the viewers. I said that so I don't want to trash anything. Au contraire, I prefer to say that last time I said that Bitdefender and Kaspersky were underrated, and I put them in A or even S tier. And I remember that was surprising for.
Yeah, I remember as
For
well.
a
I
lot of
think
people,
Chat.
yeah.
I don't think Chat necessarily disagreed with you, but I think they're so like, at least for me, I have never ran into Kaspersky or that one running on an actual client. It's like Kaspersky in my mind is yeah, but if you have experience with it, then by all means, you know.
Yeah.
Anybody
Well,
else
so,
in chat? Sorry.
Yeah, I want to come back to my initial stance. So it was like a couple of years ago. So I still consider that Bitdefender is at like A tier. I mean, it can be bypassed, of course, like any other. But in my experience, they are pretty good. Even I'm talking about the cheapest version. And yeah, they have even the like family antivirus. It has all the bells and whistles of a top tier EDR.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so it's really underrated. So instead of trashing EDR, I prefer to talk about the ones that are I consider underrated.
That is a safe call, Emerick. You
Yeah.
running your own company and all. That is a very safe call. You know what? I cannot recall the last time. Guys, chat. Anybody in chat have ran into Bitdefender during an engagement and have anything meaningful to bring back to confirm what Emerick is stating here? But I do definitely believe it because I know you do a lot of testing. So I think you're probably
Yes.
in the good here.
The thing is, some EDR they look hard to bypass when you don't know how they work. So I don't know how to give names about that, but for example, Sentinel-1. Okay, let's give a name. Sentinel-1, I consider it A tier if you don't know how it works. But then once you start to understand how it detects stuff, then it becomes like C or D tier.
Okay, gotcha. But that is very fair. I know I'm not going to mention any names, but I also know there are a few EDRs on this list that have weaknesses within particular areas that are interesting to abuse. Yeah. Did I lose you there, Emerick? Or
can you still hear me?
yeah, I can still hear you, but the camera froze.
I think my camera froze.
Yeah, Bitdefender is not bad. Somebody writes, Domshell writes, Bit didn't even realize it was an EDR. Well, technically, I guess it couldn't. Pretty sure they have an EDR. Not sure how they advertise it as an EDR, but
I don't know how to restart the camera.
Okay. Should we just go on, or do you want to rejoin with camera disconnecting? Connect. Bitdefender has something called Gravity Zone EDR, which is, I guess, what we're referring to here. But he used that even the baseline, like the free trial. Yes, Bitdefender is really good.
Yeah. For endpoint protection, is pretty good. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. And however, yeah, last time I said that Kaspersky was pretty good too, but yeah, now I felt that they, in my personal opinion, they are a bit behind now compared to what they used to.
Kaspersky?
Yeah.
Okay. What did we? Do you remember where we placed it last year?
I mean, I don't remember where we placed it. I know that originally I was pushing for them to be A tier because even the free version was incredible. But now I would say C or D.
Okay.
They lost a lot of people there, and yeah,
Isn't
the same thing.
Kaspersky also under sanctions because it's Russian made, right?
Yeah, and I think they probably, I'm not sure about what I'm saying here, but probably the team was US. They had a lot of strong people in the US, and all of those left the company.
So we don't know that for a fact, but we think that is what happened. Okay, well that makes sense to give it a downgrade from last year. Again, neither Bitdefender or Kaspersky is something that I have ran into on gigs. I guess that makes total sense, at least for Kaspersky, given that I work against US customers by a large majority. But yeah, okay. Do you have any? I don't think I can let you pick anymore, Emmerich. I think we have to save some of them for the other people jumping on as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Give me a second here. Just gotta check the schedule. Oh no, we have plenty of time. We have plenty of time still.
Okay.
Actually, let's do one more. I want to pick one, and then you can let me know what you think. Okay.
Okay.
There's so many I don't want to be like easy ones, but I know that Silence, if I recall correctly, is now acquired by Arctic Wolf and is undergoing a rebrand. Funny, BlackBerry acquired Silence, and now that is being acquired again by Arctic Wolf, if I recall correctly. And I have tested this a bit, and I would say the funny thing is, didn't Silence used to be completely free? Or no, sorry, not free. No, they had a trial. There's very few of the EDRs on this tier list that you can actually just download. Like most of them, you have to get in contact with a salesperson, and they would have to figure out how much money they can make off you. You know, how many seats do you want, licensing model, and then you would be given limited testing in those cases. But I remember back in the day, Silence, you could just download. You could just make an account. It was very much like an AV sort of licensing model, and not so much an ADR licensing model.
I know Elastic has a trial, but Silence, I don't remember.
Elastic as well still probably has a trial. And then there's a question in chat here, so I'm just going to refer to you as a Vic because the name is a bit too long. But Vic asks, when you talk about bypass, is there a specific action in mind? Like, is it process injection, Privesk, or something else that is key in not being detected or most detected by EDRs? Well, in my case, it's all about initial access. I think you also mentioned, Emmerich, that.
Well, not only that.
Yeah. We know, not only, but we know that, you know, if you do dumb process injection, I think most, if not all, remote process injection in depending on, there's so many methods, but depending on the method, are going to be, at least in my mind, high risk actions. Like, I would avoid it like the plague, doing remote process injection when operating on the machine with any sort of EDR, because it is so easy to detect, and I would try to operate within my own process as much as possible. And in order to do that, obviously it becomes a game of how is that initial access delivered, and how does that assure my persistence, and how I can keep operating on the machine over a longer period of time. So for me, it's more about being able to deploy onto the machine through a realistic setting that, you know, we could talk most users through using social engineering or whatnot. So, but like, again, I put that disclaimer out there again. This is a satire tier list. We are actually like, don't go out and buy an EDR solution based on this tier list. This is a joke for all intents and purposes. We are essentially just talking about opinions and experiences. There's nothing scientific about this. There's no testing around this. It's all just BS. So take it for that.
Yeah, and for my part, I would say that what I call bypass is initial access, but also weaponization of, for example, I mean, something that I do a lot is like take something that is detected and weaponize it so it's not detected anymore. So like common open source tools like .NET PE or anything, and turn it into wrap it into a way so it's not detected at initial access or runtime.
And that is something that is important. That is something that is very important probably for your customer base, because a lot of people do simulation versus emulation. meaning that you actually have to in some way replicate the techniques being used by an actual threat actor that would without back to Tiber, you have to sort of pick a path that you can defend, that your threat actor that you are imagining going after whatever institution you're protecting and so forth. And if they are known to use that method, then as you said, using something like BlizzKit from Emer can help you use that method wrapped slightly different so it doesn't get immediately detected and you can still deliver and use that TTP. Thank you so much. Shame. Yes, Flying is back. They will get you for insider trading. Okay, I don't know what chat is on about. I don't want to get involved with this. I will buy stock based on this tier list. Okay, don't do that. Please don't do that. I didn't know I had to put that in the disclaimer, but please don't do that. I may or may not buy stock. That's better. I may or may not buy stock based on this tier list. Okay. You're back?
Working.
No, it's still frozen.
Is it working? No, it's still frozen.
It's still frozen.
Too bad.
So I'm gonna agree with you, Kaspersky, on C, and I'm going to anybody in chat have any experience with Silence? This is the sort of EDR that I never run into. The last time I tested Silence was when I could download it free trial before it got acquired by BlackBerry, before it got acquired by Arctic Wolf. So I have an opinion. I think it's probably around D, but I could be terribly wrong. It just doesn't feel like an S tier EDR. We're going off feeling here, guys. This is non-scientific. Take a shot every time Flying mentions BlizzKit. Oh, that's a new drinking game. Don't do that. Don't do that. Did I say that this channel is sponsored by BlizzKit? I agree. The vibes are not there for the S tier. I agree. Simply not S tier. Okay, I'm gonna. I don't think I can let you pick another one. Does chat? What do you feel about this? Do you agree with the placement so far? It's kind of fun. Anybody in chat, YouTube or Twitch, do you disagree hard with any of the placements so far, based on something or nothing? Anybody disagree? There's a bit of delay here, so I have to wait. But anybody disagree with something?
I don't have much experience with Silence, so I won't be able to give a personal opinion about that.
Tyro says Fortinet needs an even deeper tier level. Somebody. I think last time I added another one called Actual Liability, which is where we placed Fortinet. So, but I'm not going to do that this time. We're just going to place it in the LUL tier. I think LUL makes perfect sense for Fortinet, in my opinion. Nobody has any hard disagreements. I'm going to place one more. Let's do a good one. Let's do a decent EDR. Okay, let's do Elastic. I think the only question for me, again, strictly, I don't know how expensive Elastic is. I think I've heard people say that Elastic is insanely expensive once you get there. But based on how much articles surrounding Invasion I have read the last couple of years that specifically mentions Elastic, I think Paranoid Ninja made more than one changelog or update to his C2 product specifically targeting Elastic. I think it's fair to say that Elastic is either S or A. Emeric, what do you think?
Elastic, I would put in S.
S tier, 100%?
Maybe the one of the only one I would put there.
Okay, wow. Do you have anything specific from your testing that you would, elaborate to that?
Elastic is kind of hard to evade. From my point of view, the good thing about Elastic is that nobody uses it. So yes. I don't really have to test it a lot. Sadly.
Again, in your opinion, Emeric, in your opinion.
In my opinion, I don't. In my opinion, it's very good and it should be used more. But sadly, most people who do red team, they don't run into that EDR.
I agree with you fully. I have yet to been on a gig against the customer where Elastic is deployed wide. I have seen Elastic deployed on on minor instances like servers or something, high value stuff, but nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, somebody's writing here, Skelsec actually, met a few Elastic guys in the conference and they were cool. So based on that vibe, it's an S tier. They bought me beer. Great. The only EDR that dares to open source its detections and publish a lot of on its internal deserves some praise. I agree with that. I forgot about it. Thank you for letting me know, and not B9 underscore. Elastic is one of the, if not the only EDR that openly publishes some of their base detections. It's on GitHub, right?
Yeah, and you can create your own rules, but yeah, it's open source, all the default rules.
Have you heard? Do you know anything about pricing? Are people not using it because it is insanely expensive, or?
I have no idea. Even if I had, I would not comment about prices. But I have really no idea about that. I don't think. I mean, I never heard the price argument about Elastic. It's just, you know, EDR is it's kind of a winner takes it all game. So there's like 2 or 3 major ones that everybody uses depending on your country, and Elastic is not one of those.
Gotcha. No, I agree. I think if I had more customers in Europe, I would probably see it a bit more. I know, Dom, if you're still in the chat, have you ran into Elastic? Not B9. I imagine it being very noisy with detections. When I spool it in my lab, the console fills up very fast, sorry, just during provisioning. I mean, yeah, again, based on the blog posts, if you guys Google Paranoid Ninja and Brute Rotel, there's a couple of changelog blogs that specifically refers to some Elastic detections. And that is my sort of technical bias, I guess, in regards to how good Elastic is. So I fully agree on S tier. I think it's an S tier tooling for sure. I think there are very few other EDRs that from, again, I'm not saying from a licensing cost, I don't know anything about that. I'm saying my opinion in terms of bypassing, however you want to term that. We already talked a bit about how we determine that or how we define that. But yes, I think Elastic is for sure S tier. I don't know. Like, if we're putting Bitdefender in A, Elastic is for sure S tier. Again, I have no experience with that either. I'm getting some confirmation in chat here. Honestly, I've never seen Elastic on the red team. I think its market share is pretty small overall. That's probably correct. Same. Okay, so very few people, like, I would, if you see this video and you are an Elastic customer, please hit me up on Twitter. I would love to hear. I would love for you to break your NDA and just tell me about how expensive it is. What works, what not. I would love to hear some about that. I have not touched it ever. Okay, next.
No, but Elastic is used in some, I think some exams or certification or stuff like that. And since you have a free eval version, some people, it's the first one they experience when they have their own lab, but they don't meet it in professional environment.
Sorry, could you say that again, Emeric? I had to communicate on the side here. My bad.
Oh. I was saying that some people, you know, they download the evaluation version of Elastic, so sometimes that's the first EDR they face. And also, I remember that Elastic is an EDR that you have to counter in some certifications. I don't remember the name, but like some training certification, you have to face Elastic. But yeah, in professional environments, it's really rare.
We actually have somebody in chat who claims to be a customer here. He says the price is pretty low compared to CrowdStrike, for example. The agent itself is not licensed, but the cluster nodes are licensed. Agents are free. Okay, that is very interesting to know. So apparently does that mean, individual in chat, that the Elastic agent is the same that you would get for free? Interesting. Agent is great. The UI is maybe less. Good product. Don't like the backend, but that is personal. Enterprise customers love the pew pew graphics. Somebody says the advanced memory scanning is a paid feature. No? Twitch chat and YouTube chat going at it here. as far as I know, the Elastic pricing isn't secret. You can get a trial online and flip it to paid. The free version is quite limited. The full version includes memory detection features and so on. Okay, so if you were to get anything past basic telemetry, that is, you know, basic Sysmon stuff, then you need the paid version to do the memory scanning. Oh, we have somebody who actually ran into to Elastic. I ran into Elastic once on an operation. It was a true pain in the ass and required some hardcore reversing to get past their stack-based detections. And that is from a trusted source in chat here, CyberSec. So you know what? Maybe we should make a new tier next year for Elastic. God mode, something like that. We'll definitely leave Elastic at that. I'm trying to soon as possible. Okay, let's do one more, and then I have shuffled the guests a bit because of some delays. And we should wait. Yeah. No, wait. Okay. There's so many guests here. We're shuffling people. Okay, you have been delayed a bit. Yeah, let's see if any. We'll see who's the first guy to jump on, and then we'll pick from there. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's chat. What's next? Feel free to do a future demo and sponsor the stream, Elastic. Yes, Elastic, if you're watching this, sponsor. The Elastic guys were watching last time. Oh fuck. Well, they'll be happy to see that I placed them in S tier, and that the overall community sort of agrees that Elastic is a great EDR solution. So, guys, if you want to sponsor me, reach out. I don't know what the value proposition is for you guys, but I'll take it.
So you want to do another one, or?
Let's do chat. What EDR next? Chat, you are free to pick what EDR we should place next. Whoever gets the most. Somebody says McAfee. Okay, McAfee. Let's do McAfee. Rip to the homie. McAfee. Someone says Cisco. I think McAfee wins here. McAfee. The thing is, I actually have an interesting experience with this. I did run up against McAfee on a gig. I will admit, I saw McAfee running. I said, it might as well not have an EDR solution, my opinion. And then I proceeded to operate like they didn't have an EDR solution, and I actually got caught. So Melvin 0, McAfee 1 for the sole purpose of just undermining or just underestimating the solution. With that said, I still think it's pretty bad. I haven't, like, based on the market share or based on the customers I've experienced it, and in my opinion, I think it's a solid like C or D tier. Do you have any widely different opinion on that, Emmerich? Input?
No, not that different. I mean, I used to consider them as a D tier or even lower, but they improved a bit. So I would say, in my personal opinion, maybe I think a C.
Okay, C.
C, yeah.
Chat, what do you think about placing McAfee in a C tier? McAfee is really Trellix. Did they get acquired? Wow, that beer is hitting now. Shit, reflex. So, Super Success, McAfee is really Trellix now?
You have Trellix in there.
Do I have a duplicate?
you don't have Trellix in your list.
No. Okay, so I guess Trellix is now McAfee based on what chat is saying. McAfee? Okay. Somebody in chat says, not me. McAfee is such a seamless experience that on a project customer, that once a project customer asked me how we did not get detected, and I asked if they actually had an EDR installed. Turned out they used McAfee. Yeah, I think that pretty much confirms the C or D tier. We had the same happen with Trellix a while back. Oh, I forgot to add Tanium on the list. That would be an instant lol. What does YouTube chat say? McAfee and FireEye equals Trellix. Oh, interesting. We're getting. This was a pen test. Skalsek notes. He was the individual who said the experience stuff. So, I mean, if McAfee can't detect the pen test, then huh? Okay, I think we're gonna leave McAfee at C. If they did go together with FireEye, it is maybe a very different story. But for now, we'll keep them separate and we'll leave McAfee at a C. We have next guest lined up. So Emeric, I want to thank you so much for your time. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much also for being, 2 years in still as challenge sponsor. I deeply appreciate that. If you guys want to get 5% off any of the EDR evading softwares that are produced by Blizzkit, Emeric's product, Emeric's company, sorry, then use the code FLANG25 or FLANG26 and reach out to him. Emeric, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye. Okay, guys. Let me prepare the next guest up here. I'll give him a bit to get acquainted, and he's on cam. I did mute you, sir, so nobody can hear you yet. Drink. Oh, yeah, I have to drink. I said Blizzkit. Frick. Okay. Do you have a beer, Mr. New Guest? Oh, you probably do not. Water. It's count. It's German. Okay, I'll unmute the new guest here in a second. And we have the one and only Fabian. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Doing
really
fine?
Good. Yeah.
I'm sorry for putting you in a tight squeeze there time-wise. I guess I should have been clearer with the time zone stuff.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Did they go to sleep okay, or did you have to?
No, it was fine. So usually it might have taken longer, but everyone is asleep, so I have time now.
Skelsek says, "Oh my God, it's Fabian. Still haven't fixed the proxy use. Sorry," he says. That's probably an internal reference. I don't.
Yeah, indeed. I had a let's say usage problem with one of his tools.
It's a user problem, Skelsek. It's not a feature
I think
problem.
it's always user problem though, because for me it's too complicated. Yeah.
Okay, looking at this tier list so far, Fabian, what do you think here? Do you think anything is horribly wrong here? Would you strongly disagree? I think you maybe agree on Elastic at least. It's S tier for sure, or?
Yeah. So I think in general it's hard to say that specific EDR vendors are like better or harder to avoid than others, because they all have their strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, I'll just jump in and say that I did give everybody a disclaimer. I'll give it again, that everything that we are stating here is purely based on opinions. We have not tested anything. There's no factual basis for this. This is all satire. Do not go out and buy any EDR solution based on this list. Okay, Fabian, go ahead. Now we won't get sued. Go ahead.
Sure,
Fabian.
this is completely right, because we face those EDRs in our pentests and red team projects.
Again, this is not. Well, yes. So, but yes, as you said, I think Olaf said it as well, that we are sort of ranking this based on our experience from an offensive perspective.
Indeed.
We don't know the licensing model. We don't know the cost, the user experience, and customer service. We don't know anything of that. We just can I get the beacon on this box if it has Elastic? That's what we care about, right?
Yeah, depends on many factors, but it's definitely harder if you go for shellcode execution with Elastic than with any of the others here, because of their like call stack spoofing, detections and all this stuff which is related to shellcode execution. So in that specific case, I would indeed say for shellcode execution, Elastic is one of the hardest to avoid. Yeah. So
I
this
agree.
is what I can confirm here for sure.
What do you think about Bitdefender? Do you think Emeric's take? Have you tested it? Any customers using it?
Yes, indeed. So we usually rarely face it ourselves in projects, but some of my customers do, or did. So so I got some feedback there, or I know about some feedback there. I think for shellcode execution, at least from my experience, it's not that hard. At least I can only tell for my product here, because this works pretty fine if you're using the right payload. So if you're going for the right C2 framework. So this is also one of the relevant factors here. Right. Because if you're going for a C2 framework that is not properly doing call stack spoofing or similar, and it's shellcode execution, then you're fucked anyway. More or less.
I love that. Yes.
In the very
stack
end,
has to line up. I agree.
Yeah, but if you use a C2 framework that is properly backing the memory regions in the stack, and then it's usually, or it was for me, for my product, not a problem to go past Bitdefender or for my customers. But there is at least. So I'm usually thinking one thing which is relevant is shellcode on the one hand side. On the other hand side, I'm still sticking a lot to .NET assemblies for post exploitation and also for C2 frameworks from time to time. So this is also, at least for me, relevant when comparing these vendors, because often when you have problems with shellcode execution, if you go for something in .NET, it's much easier and you can just use it without a problem.
And I have the exact same observation that before, PowerShell and then .NET, and then everybody was detecting .NET, and then it became to native, and now we're going back where, because of the .NET Framework CLR is doing so much weird stuff, it is so hard.
You can go for .NET. It's even good because you will live in an area which is usually excluded for some other things, because it's the CLR in the very end.
And something that I'm not going to mention names, but some of these EDRs, in my experience, also have a lot of issues with scripting languages. Like if you do some weird stuff, like Ruby, for example, it is. Some of these will just fall. And yes, you would have to bring your own dependencies, and there's caveats to that, but a lot of these... Don't get any ideas, Fabian, now. Don't get any ideas.
No, I'm not. I'm usually not sticking to scripting languages that much, so I don't have that experience. But I cannot confirm this.
It's kind of funny once they become... Yeah, we can talk about it on Troopers or SIFCON another time, Fabian. But yes, any of these EDRs, do you widely disagree with the placement? How about Fortinet? Is Fortinet a LUL S tier? Or LUL tier, sorry?
I never ever had any environment where Fortinet was in place, so I can absolutely not tell. No clue. No experience. So I really don't know. I never tested against it.
Okay, what of these EDRs that remain do you have the most experience with, would you say?
I'm wondering why you didn't put CrowdStrike yet in. Okay, the stream's taking much longer, I guess. So
yeah, no, we're just trying to save some
CrowdStrike a lot, or see CrowdStrike a lot. Yeah. I see MDE a lot.
Let's do CrowdStrike. It's a good one. It's the one that okay. Let me place it first, and then you can see if you agree. Okay?
Yeah. Why not?
I think I would say 70 to 80% of all the engagements we go up against, we see CrowdStrike in the US. And I also have to say that since we see CrowdStrike so much, we have adapted our utility set to be compatible with CrowdStrike. So it becomes a bit, it becomes like you see this a lot, so you adapt to it.
Yeah, but you know what's possible and what's not.
Yes. So I would say I would not place CrowdStrike in S tier. I do not think it's S tier. It is good, but I don't think it is S tier in my opinion. For me, it's between A or B, and I think I'm leaning towards A for CrowdStrike. It is. We see, my experience and opinion is that we see a lot of we can get around CrowdStrike quite easily, but we have to be very careful because everything we do will catch up to you, and then maybe 2 weeks later you get popped for no reason, because everything has sort of aligned and they have some other stuff that kicks in later on and some investigations and whatnot. But I would think A. What do you think, Fabian?
If you're going just for the product, and I mean it is just the product here, A is totally fine from my perspective, because if it of course depends on if you're familiar with the product or not. If you're familiar with it, you know how to do stuff and what gets detected and what is not. So you usually avoid doing stuff that is getting you flagged. But yeah, it's definitely one of the vendors, of the products, which will generate more alerts in a typical, like, let's say in a typical pen test task, because in a pen test detections don't matter, and we still have all these solutions in place. We don't say anyone disable them, at least this is our approach. So we leave the EDRs usually enabled, and so we see in some environments we have a lot of alerts, and in some environments there is not a single alert, although we went for the same approach. And in this case, CrowdStrike's definitely, I would agree with TA here.
Also, I just want to point out, LZ Hacking LZ is in chat. Opinions are out there now. He says that LZ says Fortinet probably bumps you down because all their other products, appliances, in his opinion, comes with free O days. And then he's asking, are you
yes, at least if you follow Twitter, whatever, regarding to all these vulnerabilities. Yeah.
In our opinion, Fortinet comes with O days. Yes. And then he says, are you placing CrowdStrike with or without Overwatch? Which is that second?
Yeah, with Overwatch, it's an S for me, for sure, because with Overwatch, it's total pain in the ass. But in the very end, Overwatch is like their NDR service, right? So it's their SOC. So it's not just the product. If we go just for the product, I would say A. With Overwatch, it's...
I mean, this stream is fully fictional and satire anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yes, let's place it for A. Let's just assume that we're doing without Overwatch.
Yeah.
And then also somebody said, why did you put the Bitdefender on A? I just tested it 2 days ago. It's kind of shit. Okay, but we'll leave Bitdefender at A for now. I'm gonna trust.
Depends on what the person was doing, right? If you go for .NET and you go for Bitdefender, you will have a little bit more pain, because it's one of the few vendors that is going for CLR hooks, and they hook the CLR and they hook assembly loads. So even if you have MZ bypass, even if you have ETW bypass, you're still getting flagged because of this hook. You will have it's doing a memory scan on top, because when you loaded .NET assembly, it's scanning the memory region in that bunch of strings. So you need to avoid both. So it just depends on what you're doing. Some things are harder.
Isn't that a lot? Like, I don't think I know at least CrowdStrike. I think a lot of the other EDR solutions also implement their own AMSI provider that they load in process for a lot of.
Yeah.
So you would have to find the AMSI bypass for their provider, right, in order to avoid some of that CLR stuff.
Yeah, but that's not so complicated.
Later, Fabian will share. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, there is public bypasses for AMSI providers. You can just patch the provider as well. So this was published 2 years ago at Black Hat, I think.
Find the correct offset and you're there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more, Fabian. You pick. An EDR.
I'm wondering that Cortex is also there.
We saved Cortex. I want to. If you want to do, we can do it, but we have to save one of the better ones for a bit later. Let's do some of the less good ones. If you have any experience.
So I from my experience, I need to say it like this, right?
Yes.
From my experience, I would put Sophos somewhere at, I don't know, D.
Sophos?
Yeah. That's userland hooks only from my perspective, from my experience. So if you get past userland hooks, you can do whatever you want.
But that's not fair. I think even Fortinet has a driver and system level hooks, yeah?
But I don't know about Fortinet.
Okay. Yeah,
I cannot tell.
Yeah.
No experience.
I agree. I think is D or LUL for sure. But they did rename. It's called Intercept X. I think I don't know if they renamed or if it's new. Chat, do you know if Intercept X is a rebrand or if it was always that?
Sophos is renamed to Intercept X?
It says so. Intercept X Advanced with a X there. It says under. You can Google it.
Okay, it's new to me.
Yeah, I saw it when I looked it up. I'm like, what? Not called Sophos anymore? Are you still working as pentester, Fabian, or did you fully move over to your own company now?
No. That's also not the plan. So my EDR evasion stuff and software, all this is still done in my spare time on the weekends, on the evenings.
Yep.
And I'm still working full time as head of the pentest red team in another company.
Have you had a lot of issues with like licensing and stuff selling to foreign countries?
With my product?
Yeah, I know Emmerich has spent a lot of time like trying to get the right, he's technically selling a cyber weapon or whatever, right? So you have to get the appropriate.
I'm just refusing to sell to anyone which I'm not allowed to. So if anyone asks
Okay,
me
that's
to buy
fair.
it and I cannot export to that country, I'm just ignoring that or sending one email, sorry, but I cannot export to your country. So I don't have any stress to sell my product at all. I'm ignoring most inquiry requests and most emails because the companies don't look legit.
Makes it easier. Easier for you for sure in the long run. Right?
This is not my main job, and it's my free time, and I don't need the money, so I'm just ignoring all these requests. And it's just going for legit companies. And that's totally fine for me. And then in the very end, this is for me, it's EU and it's 6 other countries. So it's the EU 001 license here for export. And yeah, that's fine for me. I don't need to sell worldwide.
No. Is it like Asia you cannot export to? India probably cannot export to?
No, Asia is not in there. India is not in there. It's just the European Union plus Great Britain plus USA plus Canada plus Australia, Japan, and Switzerland, I guess. I think it's these 6, maybe one more. Yeah. But that's what I can sell to, and I'm ignoring the rest.
I think that's safe, especially since it's sort of a side gig for you. You know, it's not important. It's just better to save yourself some work. And,
indeed.
Okay, we did Sofos. Let's see how many we have. 4, and I have 2. I have 1 more, 2 more. No, I have to. Fabian, I think I have to let you go. I think I have to save some of the EDRs for some other people here.
Okay, no problem.
I'm going to get the other individual into the waiting room. I'm going to say, Fabian, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to go
thank you for being
quick. I appreciate it. You have some wonderful opinions that are not factually based, that are not based on real facts. It's just experience. I mean, opinions.
From now on, I can also watch the rest of the stream. Before I had more time, but now I can follow up. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, I see that both Olaf and Emmerich is still in the chat, so I do appreciate that I get some solid input here, even though this is purely a satire and nobody cares. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Fabian. I talk to you later.
Have a nice evening. Yeah.
Bye, guys. Hey.
See you.
Okay, guys. I'm going to take a quick toilet break here, 50 seconds tops. There is another individual who's about to jump in. He's in the waiting room soon, and this is going to be fun. We're about to get this individual. Actually, is not from the red side. He's from the blue, maybe purple side. So he has some other inputs he can give us. Okay, I'm going to give it BRB. I'll be back any second, guys. Don't go anywhere. Okay, guys, we are back. And I have a surprise guest for you guys. This is the third surprise guest. I have one more after this. I think this is a good one. And then I have the spiciest guest for us, guys. The guys with all the opinions since in last. The guys who's going to get me like a couple of defamation suits or whatever. Okay. Please welcome the one and only John Hammond. You are on, man. There you go. Hey, how are you? I'm doing just freaking fine. Long time no see, right?
Yes.
Awesome. I do appreciate you being able to jump on such a short notice. There we go. I finally transitioned. And there we go. Now we have John audio. Okay. Try to talk now, John, if you're good.
Alrighty. Can you hear me okay?
I think I can hear you now.
Hoping.
Yes. We're good. I'm getting confirmations from the side here. Obviously, John, you are not on the right color spectrum when it comes to this, right? You are the opposite.
Yeah, I was trying to text you ahead of time. It's like, look, I don't know how valuable I'm going to be. I feel a little out of place, especially with your stellar lineup of guests already.
To be fair, we have had a stellar lineup, and I did get a lot of almost too valuable insight from the individuals, because this is supposed to be satire. This is supposed to be fun. I did read out a full fat disclaimer in the beginning of the stream saying that this is based on opinions and minimal experience, and that we are doing no testing. So don't go out and purchase EDR solution based on this tier list. It serves as nothing but a fun satire indicator from a couple of like 10 people's opinions, essentially, right? But nonetheless, John, you do have experience in the field, and despite not being on the red side, when you see the list so far, what do you think? And remember, just if you want to say something, just start by, in my opinion, and you're good.
Roger that. Yeah, I know you
yes.
gave the spiel a little bit ago, right? Of like, hey, total disclaimer, total.
Yep.
So I was pleased to see you guys put CrowdStrike up in the party. I figured Sentinel-1 might come with it, but the ones that I were eyeing still in your pin images and the like not yet slotted section, Webroot was kind of calling my name because I am at least slightly more familiar with that.
Oh, great, because I have nada experience with the Webroot, so I appreciate that if you have something for me there.
Again, we're all being polite, we're all being friendly,
yes,
but I would probably
you can do whatever you like. You do whatever you like, John. You do whatever you like. But yes, in your opinion, though, where is I'm gonna guess that we're at the bottom section here, probably, right?
Yeah. Yes, I might go D or lower, but I'm super curious on chat's opinion, and I'm wondering if anybody else also has the same, maybe similar insight. But I don't want to be like, coming in and easily just shooting stuff down,
throwing shit out there like Webroot's so bad, just horrible. Yes, yeah. Great. John says that, guys. Can somebody screenshot this? Clip
no.
it. No, chat. What do you think about Webroot on belonging to D or Lul?
Yeah, so you have not played with Webroot, you said, right?
So, that was a horsey. No, I have not. I think once, and I'm trying to recall if it was me giving it a go because I could get a trial license or whatnot, or if it was on a gig. But I'm definitely with you on the D or Lul tier. But with that said, the little experience I did have, it's a long time ago, so it could have changed. But what is... People in chat are saying, I've never seen this EDR in my entire life. Never heard of or touched that Pokemon. Never seen or heard of Webroot. No comment about Webroot. I'm gonna, again, based on the market share, it probably indicates that it isn't an S tier EDR. That's fair. That's an opinion to have, I think.
Yeah. I feel like I would be reaching for some of the like EDR telemetry project stuff. Have you guys reached out to those, or have you looked at any of those?
Oh no, that's way too scientific, John. This is
true.
You're
this is all vibes.
You're trying to get sued, aren't you? What is this? No, this is pure vibes, John. This is opinion news, whatever. No, I think people says they don't even brand themselves as an EDR. It's like an AV plus identity protection.
Correct.
So I guess, does it become a matter of disqualification, or does it become a matter of lull, a lull tier?
Let's keep it in the lull.
Let's keep it in lull then. I think Webroot is out of its league here. I think there maybe belongs to the antivirus tier list, not the EDR tier list. So my bad on that one in that case. Okay.
No, I mean, there's still ones that I'm sure people will be, even then, chat was like, what is that? Never heard of that.
Yeah. Never heard, I did like never heard or touched that Pokemon. That was great. That made me crack. That was so good. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here, Symantec. I will admit I have called Symantec Trashmantic at some point.
Really?
And that is, because in my opinion, Symantec is not great. In my opinion, I have, in my little experience and in my opinion, operated on machines with Symantec and have met extremely little resistance. I'm talking like unhook, just remove the userland stuff and you're good. You can do pretty much whatever you want. You can do remote process injection. Hell, if you want to open a handle to LSAS, you go ahead and do that. Symantec, based on my little experience and in my opinion, is going to have no problem with that. So I'm going to go ahead and say Symantec. Lul or D? Chat, Symantec lovers in chat here. What do you think? Am I being too harsh? Am I having too bad of an opinion? Somebody literally said, based on the Mitre attack evaluation, and then I stopped reading. That's what happened there. Okay, no, he said, sorry, I'm giving him shit for no reason. He says, based on the Mitre attack evaluations, most of these solutions deliver 100% detection and protection. That's true, John.
I think everyone does say that. Everyone says that they say 100%
Correct. They
coverage.
My friend said that this is Webroot and then slash. That was funny.
Nice.
Yeah, you got it. That's a dry one.
I think D feels like a fine place for Symantec. That feels like a little friendlier than our LOL section.
Yes, I agree. I don't think it doesn't come with Odays, like in my opinion, Fortinet does. So yes. True. I think we're going to give them a solid D. Some lovers out there might even go C. But then people are saying if Symantec is D, then Sophos is a C. Somebody says.
I think I would agree. Sophos I'd probably keep in that upper echelon.
You're getting your way now, Cerbersec. Yeah, your opinions matter. Keep giving us those. And then somebody asked, is the Huntress agent only available in MDR? I think we're going to stay clear of that topic, John. Or
Look, Huntress is S and above. They're
okay,
not on the chart
okay, that's it for John today, guys. I think we're... No, obviously, I think we're just going to... I don't know even if Huntress is an EDR. It's an MDR, right?
Huntress is an EDR that is managed. So managed EDR and MDR, or whatever we want to bucket it as. But everything gets reviewed by a real person, a real human being. So that's the sweet sauce.
And I did see you guys actually. What are you guys? You guys are an offensive company. You guys are taking down hackers based on the recent blog post that I have read.
Yeah,
that totally didn't cause like major controversy at all. It was just flew under the radar. Nobody cared. Did anybody read that? I didn't see it.
It was hilarious, not gonna lie. I'm super curious what chat's gonna be thinking, but yeah, that was just the funniest thing. It really just showed the people who are in security and know what they do, know what they're doing in security, and those that aren't.
Yeah. I mean, I read the blog and I was like, this is a solid technical thing. Like this is good stuff, good writing. And you know, my moral heart. I mean, if we're gonna fame YouTubers for hacking back the hackers, the scammers, then I mean, how much worse is this? You know what I mean? I'm not saying either of. I think I don't know how the law is around it, but I mean, fuck the scammers, of course, right? So yeah, I mean, actually, funny enough, my grandmother just a couple of days ago almost got fooled by somebody claiming to be the police, saying that they needed her to transfer her money onto a safe account because her account got blocked, and they actually did some. They actually sent her. She was pretty good, so she asked for emails. Hey, could you send me this on an email? And they actually sent her an email from the spoofed almost police Norwegian domain. And they attached a AI-generated image of a police officer that was supposed to be the guy on the phone. You know, which everybody does. Don't you do that, John? I always do that. When I send out an official email, I take a picture of myself and I add that to attachments. So people know that it's me, right? No, but that alone managed to give her sort of icky vibes, and she jumped off, which was great. You know, she could have lost tens of thousands of dollars if she went for it.
I'm glad she was able to catch it in time. Good.
But yeah, and I mean, just the kind of scumbag individual you have to be to call elderly people who are not as modernized on technology as we are and exploit that is, yeah, it's horrible. Like, how do they sleep at night? Like, I do social engineering and it's all play and fun. Like, nobody's actually getting hurt, right? And I still think it sucks sometimes. I feel bad. And then, yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's a wild world.
It is indeed. Okay, we're getting off topic here, but yes, we clear stuff up. I think the question was, does chat agree with the semantic placement? So I'm going to need some semantic opinions in the chat here.
Yeah, I feel like we've done three things, right? We placed webroot in LOL, we put semantic in D tier, and then moved up Sophos to C tier. Is chat all above board with those decisions? And then where do we go next? Do you think there's even more to slot right now?
I think I want to give you what do we there's so many. So the thing is, I do have a spicy taker, so that's okay. Let's do a classic. Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. I think I placed this one rather high last time around, and I gave it credit, if I recall correctly. In my opinion, I gave it credit for finding a sweet balance between screaming at you all the time and just being able to be deployed within an environment and work. Because in my opinion, obviously Microsoft is going to have the largest existing customer base among all these providers, right? They are going to have millions of customers who are looking to just complete the stack of Office 365 products by buying MD license, MDR, or whatever, you know. Obviously I have to give them shit for renaming their product every year, but that's a whole different topic. And then people are waking up here. Do we consider MDE also MDI, Microsoft Defender for Identity? Because those are technically at least two different licensing models. Are they not? I think you can buy just MDE, and then if you want the identity stuff, you have to have like E5 or whatever the absolute mess of a licensing model Microsoft is preaching these days, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know, truth be told. I mean, it probably is a specific higher subscription tier, but I guess if we're bundling and bucketing all this for the sake of your tier list to be Microsoft as the provider, as the security bucket, we could probably encompass both of those. Do you agree? Yeah.
I agree. Let's say you pay for E5 or whatever the highest licensing model is. People know stuff about Microsoft. People are saying, yeah, it's a different product. Yes, it's more money. They are separate licenses. Yes, unless you go for the Defender Suite licenses, which is a thing apparently. Scale Success. They are two different products as of today, but tomorrow Microsoft might change it. Fair take. You need an MDI license for domain controllers and ADCS servers. It's different. Interesting. Okay, so I thought that is a good, glad somebody cleared that up. I thought MDI was the cloud equivalent, meaning that you would give you like better email filtering or whatnot, that part. I didn't know that in order for Microsoft to detect stuff from DCs and ADCS servers, you would have to have MDI. That sounds like a hard cutoff from MDE. People in chat know a lot of shit about licensing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably the most common that people realistically see. And muscle and feel, right? If we're going vibes, I would also probably put this pretty high. I feel like I'd go B or above, but that's just me. I'm curious for everyone else. I thought I saw someone in chat say, look, maybe C, but then I see others saying B and A. So yeah.
Okay, I'm reading chat, John. There's three different products. There's MDE, there's MDI, and then there's DFE. No, wait, what?
DFFE?
Oh, we're comparing endpoint products. Olaf, damn Olaf and Arline. Nobody's doomed. Okay. What? Wait, who said you're comparing? That's Defender for Cloud. Okay, so there's MDE, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Defender for Identity, and then there's Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So there's three different ones. So I'm gonna make a decision here. I'm gonna say that we are not. I'm gonna make LC happy because he is my boss's boss. I'm going to say that MDE and MDI are separate things and that we are evaluating MDE. If not, people are going to freak out that we also didn't consider CrowdStrike identity when we evaluated CrowdStrike. Again, this is all hypothetical and opinions and stuff, so it doesn't really matter, but sure. I think MDE is a very solid B. I think MDE is the definition of B tier, to be perfectly honest with you. I think MDE is the perfect B candidate. Chat, what do you say? Do you disagree with this?
Dude, Twitch chat is so much better than YouTube chat. What am I doing on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube chat is dead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm going back to Twitch.
We do have one very dedicated individual, SSD Tux, who has been talking all evening. But yes, the Twitch chat is where it's lit. And apparently, I tried to stream on Twitter, but they told me I had to have premium, and I couldn't buy premium in my country. So that was sort of a gimme. But I mean, people seem to. Okay, this is better. Of course, Twitch chat is better. With such handsome mods. Scalsec is a mod, of course. Okay, people are writing. As an overall product, yeah, for just out of the box, I say lower. Interesting. Agree. Although they released custom logging for DFE, you can turn it into true. You cannot turn it into true sysmon. You can turn it into true sysmon. Stock detections wise, CS is slightly better from a defender side. MD is A tier for customer use. That might be a very fair take. B is crazy. Would easily say that DFE Plan 2 can be S tier. No, Bert, nope. MD is not S tier. Let me just tell you this: if you try to curse,
lead into A, right? Like sometimes maybe.
Sure, but like one of the things I do a lot. I'm gonna out myself here, but one of the things I do a lot during red team engagements is coerced authentication. And Microsoft Defender for Endpoint does not give a shit, in my opinion, about coerced authentication. But a lot of the S tier EDR solutions, they will kick you the F out if you try to invoke those RPC calls that are so bad. So no, MDE is not an S tier. No. I mean, personally, I use MDE as a baseline. If I can deploy something against MDE, I know I can do pretty well against most other EDR solutions without immediately getting caught. Because getting MDE licenses is as easy as buying a license compared to CrowdStrike or Elastic. Actually, you can just buy, but CrowdStrike specifically, you have to go through like a sales process, in my opinion, to buy off. Emmerich, who was our first guest, says second guest, MDE, I would put in B. Quote, it's my personal opinion. People are really sticking with the opinion. I love it. ASR is a Windows feature. Correct.
Are there ASR rules for the coerced authentication? That's the real question. Because that's Bird's argument. Like, hey, you rack that up with ASR, then maybe it can float higher to S tier. But
I
really
no. ASR is not coerced off. ASR is like process spawning, touching this. It's essentially, I'm pretty sure ASR. Okay, I'm gonna sound dumb if this is so wrong, but I'm pretty sure ASR were created just to defeat macros before macros was disabled. Because most of the ASR rules are specifically related to Office processes spawning shit. That's in my opinion. No, but seriously, like,
that's fair.
LC, can you confirm, or am I a total dipshit saying that? LC is probably not going to agree with me. He's just going to say no. Just be an ass. 100% his. No. I just know he is.
Are we feeling good?
Yep. I'm a dipshit, but that's fine. I'm feeling good. I'm not going to... I'm sticking MD as a B.
Do you have another guest coming up?
Or? Yes. I have the spiciest. I have to say some of these. So I'm thinking... Have you, like, Cyber Reason, have you ever played with it, touched it, talked to anybody who has Cyber Reason? Chat?
I have not.
Cyber Reason? I have never, ever.
The only two that I would probably dip my toe in the water for here are maybe Sentinel-1 and Malwarebytes. Again, totally muscle and feel. I don't know whichever you or chat want to slot or what we might need to save for next guest, and you keep thinking.
I'm going to save Sentinel-1, Cortex, and FireEye for the next guest.
Roger.
Probably VMware as well, because I know that's his jam. But I'm thinking we could play some of the lower tier ones, like Asset. Like, who uses Asset? I have never ran into a company like.
Are they good? They have good research, at least
Yes,
like cutesy
they have a
cool
great
marketing blogs that I see on about.
Correct.
But I guess I don't know product-wise, truth be told.
Same. Chat, give us the verdict on the Asset here. You got to give us lower tier, higher tier. If I'm gonna place it like solely just on, I'm gonna probably give it a C, like just
C
based on
sounds fair.
vibes, just based pure vibes. Probably gonna give it a C.
Because that's alongside McAfee, alongside Kaspersky.
Yeah, it totally makes sense in the C tier. Yeah. They're pretty good. Would say C. Domcell says again, it's an antivirus.
WDAC? I don't think WDAC counts as an EDR.
No, I was about to say. I was about to Google WDAC.
What?
Oh no, it's application control for Defender.
Yeah,
it's
more Windows, Voodoo, Witchcraft, Magic.
It's a feature again, just like ASR.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the takes, though, Bird. Keep at it. I'm not trying to give you anything.
This is you guys have an awesome chat going on right now.
Yeah, no, this
like,
is
a lot of hard hitters.
You should just wait till we'll do C2s in a couple of weeks, and chat will be all over that. That was not great, because that's like, this is within my domain, but C2s is sort of it's on top of my domain, so we'll see. You know, I can't have Dom because he's so complacent. Like, there's so many people creating C2s right now. So I should have a bunch of blue team folks. That's what I should do. John, you got to hook me up.
You want me to? Okay, yeah. I'll give you the
hook
network.
Me up. You know what? We'll do that. For the C2 stuff, I'll pull in a bunch of blue team folks, and they can talk about how easy it is to do crypto config, how easy it is to find the symmetric key and dump all the data. That'd be great. Okay, so basically people are saying ASET is a C.
Roger.
So that's, you know what? Let's see. I'll ask my final spicy guest if he's ready. And then we'll do one more, John. And then I'm going to let you go.
Did I do okay? Did I survive?
Again,
I was feeling like so out of place here.
Perfect. About these you came in bawling here with the web replacement. I don't know what you're on about. This is great.
I was at least going to be able to save us on the web root side. Because again, like, that's probably more in the mom and pop shop, like the channel managed service provider world, which I know I'm in. And being, as polite as I can, but I don't think a lot of people hold a candle to that one. So
invite Michael Taggart for the Blue Team session. Note, I'll just give him a call. He's definitely on my... I'll note that name, though. I don't know who that is, I'm afraid. You know who that is, John? Michael Taggart?
Yeah. Mike Taggart jumped to Blue Sky or Mastodon. I don't know. So I don't see him all around all that often, but he always had some cool work and research. Yeah. I don't know if he's still doing a lot of it, though, truth be told, because I am blind to that other social...
Maybe LC could pull some strings with the Elastic guys on the blue side. That would be sick as well.
Yeah.
It would actually be incredibly interesting to hear, honestly, from the blue side, like, what C2 do they have the most trouble with, like, working against or decrypting or detecting or whatever it would be. It'd be sick.
I'm so glad Elastic is up there, though. S is the perfect place for it.
Yeah. I'm so glad you agree on the Elastic. I think even the last guest is gonna 100% agree on the Elastic, even though he's the spicy Brit. I think he's gonna agree on the Elastic placement. You know what? I think I'm gonna leave the last ones for that individual. If you're okay, actually no, I'm just gonna play Cisco. It's dull. I'm sorry, in my opinion, Cisco AMP, whatever it's called, it's not great.
I didn't know that Cisco had an EDR.
Right. It's called Cisco AMP, and it, in my opinion, doesn't amplify anything at all. So, yeah, John over here, like, desperately Googling, like, does Cisco have an EDR? Yeah. Does chat agree with my LOL placement of Cisco? There's going to be some Cisco diehard fan here who's been doing network configurations all his life and who wears Cisco t-shirts. Who's going to be
the security is built into the router.
Yes. Yeah. He was watching this through a terminal, Oscar streaming from Twitch or whatever. There's one motherfucker out there who's going to be really mad at Cisco, the Cisco placement.
Let me do my pot shot before I have to bounce and leave you all. I'd probably put Malwarebytes in the lower half. But then I know you got to kick me out.
You would probably put, like, I think malware, actually, I think Emmerich is strongly going to disagree. Last year, yeah, Emerick, who is he's the guy behind Balliskit, which is my channel sponsor, who makes EDR evasive software, says that Malwarebytes is like one of the most underrated EDR solutions out there. If he's still in chat, and he can confirm that. But you know what, John, I'm gonna kick you out on the limb here. I deeply appreciate you joining on. Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you for letting me be here with y'all. That was fun.
Awesome, I appreciate it so much. Let's keep in touch, and yeah, see you sometime soon, man.
Peace.
Later. Okay, guys, we are now about to have the last individual join us in. Give it up for John. I really appreciate it. He's being just a good sport and just joining on here for me, myself. Let me mute the new individual who's ready. He's so spicy. Spicy Brit. Already got sued this week, so that's great. Okay, I'm going to introduce you guys to the last guest. That is going to be Domshell over at MDSec, who always has something to say, I feel like. I don't think that's unfair, Dom. I'm just going to give you that. You always have something to say. Welcome to the chat, man.
Hi, Melvin. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing just fine. How are you doing, Dom?
Yeah, pretty good. I've been listening to the stream. It's going pretty well.
Awesome. Do you so immediately, obviously, hope you're having a good night. Immediately, do you disagree with some of these placements? Just I'll start spitballing here. What is obviously wrong?
I mean, I think it's mostly on point. Like I would say, I mean, I haven't got too much experience with Bitdefender, to be honest. That was the one that I was most surprised to see up in A. I kind of feel, I don't know, I always kind of felt like it was more of an AV than an EDR. So, but again, that's maybe some lack of experience on it. I think like mostly though, it's pretty solid. The MDE, I think is, personally, like I probably see it between like an A and a B, but I think there was some conversations in the chat about looking at it out of the box or looking at how it's been configured. A lot of the red teams that we do are in quite mature environments. So when we come up against MDE, clients have invested a lot of time into, configuring it, building out detections for it. So, but I can kind of understand like out of the box, it's not amazing. So.
Yeah, it's hard, right? So definitely same case where I've been up against different DDR solutions being used by different companies. And as you said, it all comes down to how much time they are willing to, like, you can configure Cortex to be shit if you want to. It's probably really hard because I think, again, in my opinion, Cortex is pretty decent. So, but you could probably configure it both up and down. I have ran up against, I think it was McAfee, I talked about earlier, where the config was super good and it was actually hard to operate against, even though McAfee itself, in my opinion, isn't a great EDR solution. So I agree on that. And Bitdefender also surprised me. I know it also surprised me together with Malwarebytes last year. Emerick, again, the guy behind Balliskit, claims full-heartedly that Bitdefender is severely underrated. So again, given my lack of experience with it, I'm sort of chosen to believe him. And I think that's, I want to give it a go now to confirm whether or not that is factual. Well, I have to drink again, frick. We have to drink, Dom, every time I say Balliskit.
Okay, fair enough. I've got a drink with me, so all good. I came prepared. Yeah, I mean, like for me, like out of the box, probably Elastic and CrowdStrike are the best two. I think that's, but I think that seems to be like a fairly safe opinion.
I think everybody agrees on Elastic. I think like, even though very few in chat has operated against it, I think I saw one guy who said he ran into it on a gig. Personally, haven't. I don't know if you have. Probably done testing with it for Nighthawk, but
no, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen it in any customer environments, but we've played around with it a bit in labs and that kind of stuff. Just mostly because it's the easiest, it's the most accessible, it's the easiest to get hold of and play around with. So, just based off that experience alone, it feels pretty solid. The other thing as well, like I think like the guys in the chat touched on it again. I think CrowdStrike with Overwatch is pretty good. Like we've had a few operations where there's not been alerts or anything, but they've kind of retrospectively pieced together things from the Overwatch team and burned down some of our ops. So,
100% the same experience. It's one of those things that you think you're good, and then 3 weeks in you'll get nuked off for no action happening at that day. Just they aligned all the data and they figure out you're a threat.
Yeah.
Okay, so Which one when you go out? Cyber Reason? Touched it? Tested?
Yeah, we have. I've seen Cyber Reason a couple of times. I don't think it's too bad, like overall, actually. They had some... they were one of the first, and in fact, they're probably one of the best ones that I've seen for detecting like in-memory .NET execution. So they've got like a detection called like floating .NET modules. And that we were running, I was on a red team actually for a client a couple of years ago, and we got the foothold, and then we just started like with some of our normal post-ex, ran a .NET module, triggered an alert. The client told us, like, they sent us a screenshot of the alert and said, this is what's tripped you up. And then we carried on from another foothold, just mostly operating on BOFs. But actually on that project, Peter on the Nighthawk dev team basically came up with something that he felt might bypass it, and then we ended up with a new evasion feature, which was the .NET stomping, which we tried it on the job, and we were successful. We got the .NET assemblies running, but I don't think it's too bad, like overall, actually, in my experience. I think a B is probably, you've gone for it already, but I think it's probably like a safe position.
I agree. I feel like MDE, especially standalone unconfigured, is like such a B. Like, it just screams a B tier in my mind. So I think based on what you're telling me about Cyber Reason, sounds like, I know MDE also has pretty decent assembly detection in terms of .NET. Your assembly namespaces, be careful. Don't randomize those too much. They will appear in MD, and if you have any dirty words in there, not saying I ever have, they will appear in those MDE logs, guys. So don't name your namespaces as system assemblies. You're good. Okay. One that I have had very little experience with is VMware. I think or Carbon Black, I should say. There's two different ones, right? There's the EDR, and then there's the app locker, or like the lockdown one. Mm-hmm. So I think, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the app control is from an acquisition, what they did a few years ago from Bit9. I think the app control is actually really good when it's properly configured. The EDR is generally like, it collects like a phenomenal amount of telemetry. And I think the emphasis is on the blue team mostly to build out rules. I think out of the box, it doesn't come with much, but there is like a phenomenal amount of, I've done a couple of purple teams where they, they've had Carbon Black, and there is a significant amount of telemetry that's visible to for the blue teams to build on. So I think, it's one of those where you're kind of empowering the blue team to go off and do something with it.
The feedback I've heard about Carbon, again, not sure if it's Carbon Black or if it's that niche AppLock product, or if those are nicked the same, but I've heard a lot of blue teams give them a lot of praise about how they allow isolation and the tools that they provide after environment has been isolated. So I know they're real good there, but I've been up against the AppLocker section once. That was a bitch, to be fair. They did much more than you could define with typical AppLocker rules. And Windows, again, given it's not AppLocker, it's a different product in its entirety. I mean, again, are we EDR or are we AppLocker here? What are we?
I mean, I don't think you can. I think the AppLocker is a separate product personally,
right.
So I wouldn't throw it in with the EDR side of it.
So that's an EDR, given how little I've seen it, market share, whatnot. Pure vibes, probably, I mean, it's a safe call giving it a B. Definitely not a D. I can't imagine, right? So we're CB. What do you think? Again, I don't know.
I think personally, I think about a C is a fair.
Yeah, fair assessment for it. Chat, anybody ran into Carbon Black as an EDR? Experiences, thoughts, struggles? Okay, somebody came in, interesting though. Somebody came in late in YouTube chat and wrote, sorry for being late. I missed a conversation for this one, but Kaspersky is C. You serious? This is A for sure. Maybe S. It's very good, but looked like you disagree. That's okay. Okay. Well, I think the Kaspersky, I'll just rephrase it for you while we wait for chat to respond to Carbon Black, but Kaspersky was placed a bit higher last year. Emmerich specifically is the one, again, both for Bitdefender and Kaspersky. Emmerich is the one who's out yelling, this is actually really underrated. But that after, geopolitical situation, a lot of the American devs supposedly left, and thus it has been falling a bit behind. But again, just one guy with those opinions. Again, opinion, guys. I mean, I get really little response about that VMware. So I'm just going to leave it at, I'm going to make a judgment call and give it a C, just based on how little market share and how little people have dealt with it. There is one here, though. I don't want to give it to last, but Cortex is something I had a year away from TrustedSec and worked in the EU, and that's where I saw how many people are fully locked into the Palo Alto stack, you know, running Palo Alto firewalls, Palo Alto VPN as well. Global Protect VPN is the name, and then also running Cortex XN as an XDR. And I think Cortex, with or without the firewall, it still has a lot of network insight. So, you know, as an EDR, not an XDR, I should say, it is definitely one of the better ones. It has a couple of things that I don't want to mention, but it has a couple of things that we abuse that it doesn't have insight in. But any EDR, if you look long enough, is going to have stuff that it just has a weakness. Again, I think I mentioned scripting languages earlier, and it sounds really dumb, but you wouldn't believe how many modern EDR solutions out there have trouble parsing weird, non-standard languages. But either way, I think Cortex, I'll place it dominant. You can tell me if you think this is wrong or right. I think I'm not convinced. Like, Cortex is a bitch in the long run for a lot of reasons. It's going to trigger on any sort of course authentication, both locally and remote, in my opinion and experience. It gives you a lot of shitty file names. It randomizes, it feeds, it has hooks placed to give the operator bullshit data. I don't know if you ever tried to list a directory with an agent running before any unhooks, but it's going to give you a lot of garbled data, a lot of fake information that sort of are traps, I should say, like active traps. But I'm not sure it's an S tier. I feel like it's really between A or S, but I'm not sure it's an S tier. What's your thoughts, Dom?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's an S tier. I think it's probably on par with CrowdStrike, I would say, but maybe not as good as CrowdStrike with Overwatch. So I think A's probably a safe bet for it. You know, we've had a couple of engagements against Cortex. It's given us a few headaches at times. So I think A is probably, you know, where it belongs.
I agree. I'm not confident enough to give it the S tier. Just given how we are able to fully work around it, even though it took some adaptation. It's like I said this earlier as well, but we are predominantly up against US customers or my employer, and that's going to be CrowdStrike, like 80%. So every time we run up against new EDRs, we have to adapt. We have to make sure that our TTPs align with what we can do against this EDR. And Cortex, that's why I'm giving it A, because Cortex took a bit of work in order to make sure that we can, you know, not do dumb stuff on it. So I'm going to give it an A. I see chat is somebody saying maximum C. I don't think that's fair at all for Cortex. Somebody saying A or S, A or S. Somebody says, you know, got caught by Cortex in an SQL process doing post-exfiltration. Not really pleasant to explain why some prod systems is failing. So what you're saying is Cortex doesn't care. They just kill prod servers. I mean, or this user in chat says that. I don't say that. That's an opinion. Cortex on Mac is bad though. Everything on Mac, like running EDRs on Mac is fundamentally against. Is fundamentally going to be, I don't want to be like impossible, but it's going to be very difficult because Mac doesn't operate in the same way. Like, even if you give it root, even if you do drivers, it doesn't work like that. It's just much harder. I don't know too much about it. I just know it doesn't work like that. You see some really bad EDRs. It's because on Mac. It's because it's a third priority, fourth priority. I think by Cortex is on A. I know a lot of people viewing the stream is going to have like expectations to where this was placed, but I don't feel it's an S tier. I think it's an A tier for sure. Emerick, you're still on? You wanna chime in here on Malwarebytes? I know Bitdefender, Kaspersky, and Malwarebytes are one of your like unclaimed or not unclaimed, but you're underrated. I don't know what you think, Dom. You gonna run into Malwarebytes?
Never ever seen it.
Haven't touched it, no.
Yeah, never touched it. Sorry.
Same. I mean, I think I've tested it in lab once, but it's a long time ago. I don't know if Emerick is still on, but I'm complacent to give it Did not test it recently. Last time it would have been, as I said, a B. I think giving it I'm not sure I can give it a B, honestly. I think I want to give it a C, but again, this is fully vibes. Like both me and Dom and chat have zero experience, so this is full on vibes.
Yeah, it kind of gives me AV vibes, to be honest.
Yeah, same. I think I have like stigma, just this being an AV. This is a Malwarebytes is Avast in my mind, right? It's just an AV. But
it kind of feels like the thing when your grandma gets malware on a machine that you know you kind of install Malwarebytes on a PC.
Yeah, because you know Malwarebytes isn't trash, so you just run it. But you also know that it isn't preemptive. It's like afterwards, right? Yeah, I've heard it. As we say that, people saying I've heard it being used on ER engagements for people on Twitter. So yes, it's an IR. Perfectly said. XD. Okay, great. Checkpoint. I don't think we have to talk too much about this, but I'm going to give it a little tier. My opinion is that I'm not sure I even consider it an EDR, even though I'm pretty sure they claim it's an EDR. Let me just Google that so I'm not like entirely factually incorrect. But yeah, Checkpoint EDR. What is EDR? Yeah, no, I don't know what you're thinking, Dom, but I think in my opinion it belongs to the lull tier for sure.
Yeah, it's a firewall, isn't
it? Just like there's something there with like firewall companies making EDR solutions that maybe isn't like the Cisco, Checkpoint, and Fortinet, all firewall companies making EDR products. But yeah, yes, they are. I think they're mostly known for firewall. I'm pretty sure they sell physical, just like Fortinet. They sell like physical hardware boxes of firewalls, right? So do you want to bump that to a D, or do you think it deserves a low?
I honestly have never seen it in a customer environment like as an EDR. So I'm happy with low, just because.
Chat is saying low. I guess then based on our opinion and pure vibes, it's getting a low. And then we have two very different C2s left, or C2s actually, EDRs left, sorry. Cerberus says, does it come with free O days, just like Fortinet? I don't know about that, but maybe. Sentinel-1. Oh, wow. It's been a long time since I've been up against Sentinel-1. Immediately, I want to place it in this... So I'm not sure I want to place it in A, but I know I want to place it in the same category as Cortex. It feels very Cortex-y. This is pure vibes, guys. Sentinel-1 feels very Cortex-y. But I don't know what you think, Dom, if that's outrageous.
I think that's fair. Like, I think it's like maybe like I think it's like a bit better than like MDE Cyber Reason, but maybe not quite as good as CrowdStrike and Cortex. Like, I kind of feel like we need a like a B++ guy.
Yeah, I agree. Like I agree with that. There should be a B+ in between here. So yeah, I agree. It's better than MDE, but I wouldn't say that it's as good as CrowdStrike. Yeah. What do we? Let's leave it an A then. Just it's technically an A-, but yes, let's give it an A. And then okay, somebody's saying Sentinel-1 is more focused on acquisitions. That's an opinion in chat. What about Trellix XDR or FireEye EDR that they observed and slapped their logo on and will not change really anything about the product? Again, somebody says in chat. So is Trellix now FireEye? Is that what he is saying? I didn't follow no Trellix acquisition. Trellix EDR. Trellix buys. What is chat saying? McAfee. Okay. McAfee and FireEye is now Trellix.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, do we just do this then, or do we think they're better? I actually thought FireEye was better than McAfee. I was prepared to give FireEye maybe a B even.
Yeah, I think C's pretty fair. We did a red team in like back end of last year where they had Trellix or like FireEye, McAfee, whatever you want to call it. And at the end of the project, the client decided to rip it out completely and replace it. Wow. They ended up going with MDE. Yeah, it didn't come off very well.
Well, That's based on experience and opinions. Okay, I have one final EDR. Technically, it's not an EDR, but I have to add it for lulz and giggles. We have to have Arch. I'm gonna give it an S tier. And fight me, chat. Obviously, it's a meme. Sets the tone of this whole stream, really. But I'm much easier, much cheaper. Easier, I don't know, but much cheaper, and you don't need a license. Jack is super happy in chat right now. Okay, Dom, looking at this, chat, looking at this, is there anything that is just straight up malplaced? Anybody? Where's Sysmon? I mean, that's just a telemetry tool, really, right? It just pumps out data, it doesn't do anything else. So, but yes, looking at this, anything like sticks out, anything we're not happy with, either based on vibes or facts?
I'd be interested to know how it compared to last year's. What's the last year's tiering look like in comparison?
You are asking good questions here. Let's see. Let me try to pull up last year on the side here. Last year. Oh wow. Bitdefender. See if I can find last year's list. I surely posted it, right?
I think Elastic was maybe an A last year. I've just got a feeling because I remember like one of the Elastic guys, because I think you had a voting, didn't you? And I voted as Elastic as an S tier, and then one of the guys from Elastic tweeted me saying something like "Dom's voting is truth" or something like that. I can't remember who it was, but
okay. Well, not know about that, but let me see if I can find this from last year. You know what? I'll just find the video. So Skelsec says cyber reason ... but I can't explain more without breaking an NDA. Okay, Phantom Security says Sentinel-1 should be down to B. Disrespectful to Cortex and CS to be the same tier. Shelgo says, can I propose being Amish as an S tier EDR? You know what? I might do that, but I mean, I will say, especially the last couple of months, I have wanted to just throw in everything electronic that I own out the window, but that's another discussion. I agree, S1 should be in B. Okay, that's a good feedback, guys. I like it. Let me just try to see what we did last year. What did we do last year? OffSec. Oh, that's a C2 list. I don't know if you caught, but I might be doing another C2, but I had an interesting suggestion in chat that we should bring in a bunch of blue team guys for that. Get their opinion on how hard they are to reverse and get the config and all that. That would be interesting. Obviously, I can't have you on that, Dom. You know that. That's going to be...
Oh, come on.
So, okay, so we had a bit of a different ranking last year, but last year, Arch Linux was the only thing in S tier. And then we had a category called A++, where we had Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Palo Alto, and CrowdStrike. And then we had Elastic at A. Wow, why did we have that? It's my immediate reflection on something that happened a bit over a year ago. Okay, so can I add? Okay, I can add a row. So this is what I'll do. People are disagreeing on Sentinel-1. So I'm going to create a category called B+. I'm going to call that B+. B. A lot of people didn't have Elastic PTSD yet. What the fuck? Elastic vibes weren't there in 2025. S1 and B is fair between MD. So do you think, yeah, Sentinel-1B makes me want to bring back the actual liability category and put Fortinet in it, but we'll save it. The truth has been spoken. I mean, I think I can agree to this. I agree to this. I think Sentinel-1 is between. I don't know. I guess you would want Bitdefender B or C, right, Dom? Just based on that, doesn't give it the same vibes.
Yeah, it's one. I haven't got enough experience with it to give it a fair result, but it does. Like I said earlier, it gives me AV vibes.
Maybe this is the way.
Yeah.
I actually feel this is might be the way. Chat, what do you think? Sentinel-1 MDE, same level. Cyber isn't Bitdefender B. Oh, this makes total sense, to be honest. Everybody in chat to say I agree with this. Looks better. Everybody instantly agrees with this. And then we could also, if I were to make another change, maybe or maybe I think this is very. Well, people agree. Bitdefender is pretty decent, but from a defender standpoint, its console is garbage and can't do anything. Interesting. That's all fair. I think I said this earlier as well, but we are sort of obviously this is all fun and satire, whatever. But obviously, I've never been inside. I've been inside the CrowdStrike remote access panel once because I used it to deploy onto other machines. But other than that, I haven't been inside of any of these. Like, I haven't been inside of the control panel of any of these. So I have no, except MD, of course, because license. But one says, I'd push Bitdefender to a C and VMware goes up. I mean,
that does kind of put most of the AVs together as well.
It does. It definitely does, doesn't it?
Apart from trend.
Yeah. I mean, I think chat, what do you think about this? Are we happy with this? I'm pretty happy with this. I think this makes total sense. I think this makes sense, from my opinion at least. I think from the people who's been joining us up until this point, from chat and everybody else, I think this makes sense. Let's see what YouTube chat says. Somebody in YouTube chat says, how often do you encounter Elastic during your engagements? I think me and Dom both can say almost never. Like, I haven't ran up against it on an engagement yet. So we're sort of basing this on vibes as well as what people in chat are claiming. I think you've tested it, Dom, but you haven't operated against it, like on the op.
Yeah, I've played around with it in labs. I've talked to a few Nighthawk customers who have come up in environments with it as well. I think mostly it's been fairly positive feedback about it, to be honest.
Some says trend micro, move it to last place. Some says, can we push Bitdefender to top of C? Because it does have user mode detections. Quite get that. I think you were supposed to say doesn't, maybe. To be honest, somebody says, to be honest, I miss the actual liability category. Also, if Elastic is S tier, Arch needs to go to God tier. I mean, you know what? I agree with that. I agree with that. God tier. Oh, wow. Come on. God tier. And then I think I need to change the color on B here. And then I think we do need actual liability. I agree. Just to make the lawyers really warm up. Ability. And then I think Fortinet is the only one who deserves actual liability, in my opinion. Should have had on one of the Outflank guys. They've done specific stuff against Elastic. That's right. Maybe I should just. I no, I don't think I can make that happen on short notice. I'll hit some of them up on Signal, but I doubt they'll jump on such a short notice. It's literally 9 p.m. on Sunday. I consider anything in LUL as liabilities, considering the O days. Sure, perfection, heart. I mean, this is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah. Pretty happy with this. Okay, I think that's it, Dom. I do really appreciate having you on. as I said, I saved the spiciest Brit until last. The guy with all the opinions. A lot of people have been very, very vague about their opinions, but it's always nice to have some. And I think this, again, disclosure. This is satire. This is not based on any testing or any facts, anything like that. Just based on true feel, vibes, and whatever the people in chat has been writing. And I feel like this is, in my opinion, a pretty good reflection of EDRs out there right now. I will share this final screenshot. Boop. And Elastic, if you're watching, I'll do take sponsorships. Okay, Dom, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. We got it all out, and yeah, maybe I'll have you on next year as well if we'll do a 2027 edition.
No worries. Thanks very much, Marlon.
Thank you so much, Dom. Later.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. We are through. We have done it. Lawsuits incoming. You can't sue if it's true. We need an identity version of this. I'm looking forward to it. You can't sue if true. I'm not sure it works that way. Actually not sure if that's how it works. I'm gonna share the final on Twitter, guys. Thank you so much, Emer. Have a good rest of your night. I appreciate you jumping on with your input. Appreciate it so much, Dom. Great stream. Thank you so much, Syra. I appreciate it. If you're still watching this, be sure to check out the YouTube channel, Twitter, Twitch, all that stuff. I'm trying to breach 10k subs on YouTube. I'm like at 9 point something, so I do appreciate the subscription. Again, shout out to our channel sponsor, BlizzKit. He's been a huge help the last couple of years. If you're looking for software to avoid EDR, go check out BlizzKit. You can get 5% off their entire product stack using code FLANG2526. Be sure to reference me when you reach out to get that discount. And yeah, the next video I have lined up is going to be a Mac video, actually, because BlizzKit did. Oh, I have to drink because I'm saying BlizzKit. Because BlizzKit did release a new update for their Mac payload evasion stuff, which I would love to test. I'm going to do Mythic and then BlizzKit, and I think it's yeah, it's gonna be fun. So go check that out. I'm gonna post the final results onto Twitter. Everybody have a great rest of your night. I deeply appreciate it, and yeah, see you all very soon. Bye bye.